Hey, hi, Steve Cochran. Sorry, was dozing for a moment. I'm just back from the big Trump birthday party. I know you're thinking, you went? Yeah, under disguise. I was there. I wanted to report live for you and made a little cash too. I had the hydrogen peroxide concession at the reflecting pool. That's working out really well. Barack Obama is having an exceptional party in Chicago to open the Obama Library. The Trump 80th birthday party was pretty much what you'd expect. It was the first family of F-ups and freaks. And why don't we start with this? I thought Jimmy Kimmel covered it well when he talked about how fair Fox is when Fox compares Biden turning 80 to Trump turning 80. Watch.
But in sincerity, I do want to wish our president a happy birthday. He's one of our most loyal viewers. And by the end of his term, he will be the oldest sitting president ever, though you would hardly know it if you listened to his friends at Fox. You know, when our former Grand POTUS, Joe Biden, turned 80 in office, it's almost like they had a totally different take on it.
Happy birthday, President Trump. The president celebrating a milestone birthday this morning. What an incredible American dream he has led.
You just had a birthday.
He's 80 years old. He's the oldest serving president ever.
80, octogenarian.
We're not going to hear much about this birthday from the White House because this is something they're trying to downplay as much as possible.
President Trump turns 80 today, but compared to his predecessor, well, he looks a whole lot younger.
Is there a more fit 80-year-old, particularly in public life?
The life expectancy on average in the United States, now everyone ages differently, let's remember, but at this point, are we really just pushing it a little too far with President Biden?
Don't you think it's a little ageist? Instead of celebrating his physical health at his age, we're targeting him because of his age. We have to have a fitness test to anyone that's a leader of any kind over a certain age.
Happy early birthday. Happy birthday, President Trump.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
And happy birthday to President Trump.
My sister has a very old dog that's kind of going blind, and he's incontinent, and she calls the dog Joe Biden.
Oh, wow. How old? Like 15 at this point?
Yeah, it's very old. I don't know if it's going to make it.
Well, please give your sister's dog our best, and the same to your friend, the president, too.
Oh, you know, I didn't mention to you, one of the other things that was kind of unique from Trump's party was there was a ball pit to celebrate his birthday, but, you know, he's not all that agile. He has trouble, what's the word I'm looking for? Walking, standing up, and not sleeping. But there was a ball pit. They took all the balls out, and they filled it with McDonald's cheeseburgers. That way you could just fall right in and have dinner. And I'm not saying he didn't. But all that being said, there is more to tell. As a matter of fact, Don Jr. made sure that he would be right in the middle of this. Was Don Jr., the idiot son number one, actually doing cocaine next to his father, the president of the United States? Here's the backgrounder on the video. I think you'll enjoy the dramatic music.
Donald Trump Jr. is once again at the center of a social media storm after an alleged gesture lasting only a few seconds sparked a flood of wild online speculation. The controversy began after an X user shared a short video of a man they identified as Donald Trump Jr. asking, quote, "So what did Don Jr. just pull out of his coat pocket and put in his mouth?" The post exploded online, racking up millions of views and triggering a flood of theories. And almost instantly, the internet went into overdrive. Users across X began debating what exactly Trump Jr. had placed in his mouth. Some users immediately revived old accusations involving the Trump family. One person wrote, quote, "He is a drug addict, I think. I have seen him do that before. Also his brother." Another claimed, quote, "The same stuff he was rubbing his gums with, drugs." And yet another critic alleged, quote, "The cult is going with nicotine pouch story to hide cocaine." While some users rushed to speculate about drugs, many others argued the movement looked far more consistent with someone using a nicotine pouch. Several users pointed out that Trump Jr.'s hand movements appeared familiar. One person wrote, quote, "Looks like an On Plus nicotine pouch," My favorite, yes, it's normal to roll it to be even before popping it behind your lip. Another added, quote, I live in a country where nicotine pouches are quite common, and I have seen people fiddle with the pouches before putting them between the lip and the gum. Others even defended Trump Jr. more aggressively. One user wrote, quote, Trump's kids are not like Biden's. Another added, quote, unlike Hunter Biden leaving his cocaine around the White House, this is a nicotine pouch. And as the clips spread, some users even began questioning whether the person in the footage was even Donald Trump Jr. in the first place. However, this isn't even the first time Donald Trump Jr. has been forced to deal with online drug rumors. Earlier this year, another viral clip claimed he appeared to be using cocaine during events surrounding President Donald Trump's second inauguration. But a Snopes fact check later found there was no credible evidence supporting those claims. And for now, the same remains true in this latest controversy. Despite millions of views, endless theories, and countless social media posts, there is currently no confirmed evidence identifying what Donald Trump Jr. actually pulled from his pocket and put in his mouth.
Now, don't get ahead of me. We got to be fair. If Donald Trump Jr. is doing blow at Daddy's birthday party, there's been quite a long history of drug use in the White House. It goes all the way back to George Washington. As you know, George Washington wasn't real good about getting to his 6-month cleanup at the dentist. His regular 6-month checkup. We don't know that he flossed. What would you have flossed with in Washington's time? Horsehair? He had that wacky concoction of various ways that put his fake teeth together. Anyway, his mouth was in a lot of pain all the time. And they used a concoction, a derivative of opium, to handle the pain. Fast forward all the way to FDR and his numerous health problems, one of which was chronic sinusitis. Nobody talked about that much, but the man had trouble breathing. It was absolutely legal at the time, and he used these cocaine swabs. The cocaine swabs that he shoved in his nose help him get through that time. Also pictured JFK. JFK was a health mess. Somehow he managed to hit that when it came to Marilyn Monroe and a lot of other women. But he was in a lot of pain all the time. And prescription painkillers were what got JFK through. Now, you fast forward to Jimmy Carter's time, there was some talk that maybe Gerald Ford's sons were smoking the wacky weed in the White House. We know that Jimmy Carter's son Chip was. You might be saying Chip Carter? I thought he only had Amy. Amy Carter was the more prominent part of the family. But yeah, Chip was there as well. And when the great Willie Nelson visited, Willie Nelson and Chip Carter went all the way to the roof of the White House, where on a beautiful afternoon they sat and they smoked what Willie referred to lovingly as an Austin torpedo. Years later, President Carter admitted to that as well. Because, he was a good man, and he was willing to admit that his son was an idiot at times. But, if Willie wants to go do an Austin torpedo, I don't know, a lot of you probably wouldn't say no. So again, to be fair, this is not the first time there have been drugs or a talk of drugs in the White House. Meanwhile, MAGA says, no, it's all blown out of proportion. MAGA says it's gum. It's just gum. It's nicotine gum. Take a look at this tweet from Lexus Bledel. MAGA saying this is gum, not Coke. Gum doesn't come individually sealed in plastic, and you don't move gum around in your fingers like he did. Don Jr. looks high as fuck most of the time and is absolutely a cokehead. Then, if you'd like, let's try this account. It's Don Jr.'s Coke plug. Now, I don't know when this dude started this account. It seems mighty timely. He writes, Hunter Biden, I told him I gave him the good stuff. So it's a little bit of getting even. You remember Biden in the White House, there was a discovery of cocaine while Biden was there. Fox went absolutely nuts covering that. This time, not so much, which is why we're spending some time talking about it here today. And TikTok, they're having all sorts of fun. How's your Don Jr. impression? Check out this lady. But again, I just want to emphasize, I'm trying to be fair here. We can't really tell, even looking at the video as closely as you may have seen it there, maybe you've looked yourself, you can't really tell that it's cocaine. Snopes said it's undetermined in the cause. So I thought, let's do this. I have here my own little test, if you don't mind. Here, I'll show you this. This is an Oreo cookie, some cream cheese, and some bananas. Now, if I take these three things and I rub them on my teeth, does it look like I'm doing cocaine? Let's start with the cream cheese. You know, maybe Don Jr. was watching his carbs. You know, a bagel, lots of carbs. Might have been. Or possibly a little low on potassium. You know, if your potassium drops, keep a banana handy. Maybe rubbing that a little about front. Pro tip, not crazy about bananas and cream cheese together. Or possibly, was it the double stuffed cream filling in an Oreo? Oh, yeah. Let me try this. Tasty. You know, Don Jr. may have been a little hungry, may have needed a snack. So, was it cream cheese? Was it a banana? Was it an Oreo? I know when I concocted this test, I didn't consider the amount of time it would take to chew an Oreo. So, in balance, as a scientist, I have to say, yeah, it was probably Coke. It just doesn't seem like it could be anything else. But do remember that I wanted to make sure that we tested this and you too were a part of it. All right, look, before we go, this story, like so many others, will be buried by the Trump White House. But keep in mind, what goes on there is absolutely insane. I told you I was there at the party. You wouldn't believe some of the stuff I saw. RFK Jr. running around the White House lawn looking for any loose critters where you could cut off their penises and study them. You had Kristi Noem. She got busted trying to sneak in twice, pretending she was with catering. Kash Patel went nuts when the beer tent thought they ran out of beer. And that's just part of the action. I know there was a point. Remember, if you heard about this, the weather caused a delay for the whole thing to get started, the UFC fights, because they wanted to make sure they were timely in having these fighters have their competitions. I got nothing against UFC. It's entertaining. But then to give them microphones so they could say jackass stupid things afterwards, not a great idea, but certainly the Carnival sideshow that the Trump administration is. Would you expect anything less? So because they were running late, Pete Hegseth was freaking out. So we had the foresight to take the batteries out of his walkie-talkie because he actually called in an airstrike twice to try to bomb the people who were, the weather folks who were causing the delay. Couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. You're welcome. So Don Jr. is not just a possible drug addict. He's not just daddy's little boy. Daddy skipped the wedding, of course. He's also just as much of a dirtbag as his dad is when it comes to his own daughter. This is a clip of his daughter getting ready in makeup. It's quick. Pay attention. And Don Jr. says something that you may find familiar.
Getting makeup make me look sexy like you?
Well, I guess this won't be the generation for that family to stop sexualizing their daughters. Maybe next time.
That's right. Can I be as sexy as you, my 17-year-old daughter? You don't remember when Trump did this with Ivanka? This was on The View. Good job in sizing up your audience, Don.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know.
Stop it. Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what? You are sick.
I know, isn't it terrible?
Yeah.
How
Well, you're
terrible.
known for saying
Is that
outrageous
terrible?
things,
It's
Mr. Trump.
Who are you, Woody Allen?
So let me take you out with this one more time. Here's creepy, pervert, possible cokehead Don Jr., again with his daughter, who must be waiting to run away from home as soon as she's of age.
Think. Getting makeup make me look sexy like you?
Well, I think our word of the day for this episode is ew. Or you could go with ugh. Meanwhile, I'm gonna finish off these bananas and maybe skip the cream cheese. I'm Steve Cochran. This is The Cochran Show. See you next time here on the Really American Network. Thanks. Tell your friends. Make sure you keep your potassium up.